Well, good evening. Welcome to another episode of Let the Truth Be Told. My name is Sean Williams, and I'm so proud to be in front of the camera once again with my good friend Jason from UPTV. And I thank the Lord for such a beautiful day today. And we thought we'll just take our filming outside today. Such a beautiful day in the summertime, coming to the close of the summer, and we want to make sure that we're able to capture that. Our today's topic is going to be rep your city. I laid back in bed and I thought of a great topic. I said, man, what would be a good topic to kind of articulate about on today's television programming. And I thought about repping your city and representing your city, and how do you do that and how do you do it well. So we're going to go over a few different areas and where I try to represent my city or rep my city. And my background is military, and I've always based things upon military. And one of the stories I thought about as I was thinking about repping your city, I thought about when I was in basic training and I was at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, and we went on a rucksack march one day, and so one day the drill sergeant said, "Hey, Private Williams, I want you to be the guidon bearer." And I thought that was just a great task. I was proud of my task, and I wanted to represent our battalion well. And so it was probably 4 different battalions that made up our brigade, and it was hundreds and hundreds of guys. And for him to select me was a great honor to me. And so as I grabbed that battalion flag, and I carried it, and our company flag, and I carried it, and I carried it proud everywhere we went. So this particular day we had a rucksack march, and we had to march 15 miles. And as we marched those harsh 15 miles, the drill sergeant got lost through his navigational tactics. And so those 15 harsh miles turned into like 21 harsh miles. And as that guidon that I was carrying, it weighed somewhere between 2 to 5 pounds. And as I carried it and carried it and carried it the extra miles of the way, it started to get heavier and heavier and heavier. And another guy from another battalion said, "Hey, Williams, you want some help with that? You want me to carry it for you?" And as my arms were getting tired and tired and tired, I gave it to him. Well, we finally made it to our destination. And my drill sergeant said, "Williams, where's the flag at? Where's the guidon at?" And I said, "I gave it to the other private from the other battalion." And he scolded me hard and stern. He said, "Never give away your company or battalion guidon to anybody else. You represent this battalion well." And he punished me behind that. He let me know, and he let me understand that you carry your flag and you represent your battalion well, no matter how much it takes, how hard the task might get, or how brutal it might be. You go down and you come back up, but you come back up with that battalion flag. And when I thought about that, I thought about just my military accomplishments, period, and all the sacrifices that great men and women have done around this great nation and around this world in defending our great country. And so when I bring that back to our city in Champaign-Urbana, repping our city well. And I think that each one of the citizens throughout this great nation and the citizens of Champaign should represent our city well. That was just a great experience for me to learn a great lesson, because life is about lessons. And so that was a great lesson for me. Even though he punished me afterwards and he made me do hundreds and hundreds of push-ups and hundreds of sit-ups and made me work later, but some things come with just a lot of hard sweat and tears, and some of those lessons come like that. And that was one of the great lessons that I'll never forget in my whole life. But as I take that experience from years ago and add that to repping your city, even when we're in business, and I work a few different businesses, whether it's barbershop or it's funeral home business or it's insurance business, just representing the people that we serve and representing the people that I serve well, whether it's community, taking everybody's complaints serious or everybody's concerns serious. And so a lot of times we think of other things as minor. And when I think of business, I talk to a lot of other business owners across this city, African-American business owners, and I've captured the history of businesses, and we had a lot of thriving businesses back in the early 40s, 50s, 60s, with Poplar Street and First Street and so many 4th Street. You know, and J.W. Pirtle, I was able to have a great conversation with Mr. Pirtle on the other day, and he told me a lot of history and a lot of people that were in business. And so many times when you get a chance to talk to some of our seniors, you know, talk to them about the history. How did our town get to the place that we're at right now? And he brought up a lot of older names of guys that had businesses and thriving businesses at the time that have passed on and left legacies of business, but no standing businesses as we see today. And so as he told me about some of the guys that were in business and some of the families that were in business and what they represented, what they meant, and what they kind of left behind and the standards that they had. And so as I kept the conversation going on with him, and I was asking him, you know, where do you see us at today, Mr. Pirtle? And it saddened me to see where we're at today with not having a lot of African American businesses in the community. And so it's a lot of things, economic development. You know, that's one of the pieces that we try to work on with city work and things of that nature, you know, but giving people great ideas and being able to carry out your dreams, your aspirations, you know, to be able to spark those dreams up and make people feel as though those dreams can be a reality. You know, I know it's a lot of people out there and a lot of African American people that have money to invest in the businesses, to create businesses. And so as I look at some of the business that we have, you know, I spoke with the lady on the other day, and she had a great program as far as a block party that she wanted me to contribute to. And I said, ma'am, I sure wish I could do a lot more, you know, but just not having the resources to be able to do more for her. And she had a great cause and with children that she's been doing for the last 30 years. And so, in a daycare. And I really wish I could do more for her, but we gotta support our businesses for us to be able to give back. And as I speak to other business owners throughout our community, you know, a lot of these guys and these ladies would like to do a lot more, but we gotta support our own. And as I thought about it, and I thought about one of the businesses I'm into, and that's the funeral home business. And I look at the statistics and I average out the statistics in that business. You know, 260 African American people die each year in this community, and as we average it out with the 3 African American funeral homes here in town and other funeral homes here in town, a lot of our business, I say 60% of it, goes out of town. And I say, why? Why does the businesses, the people end up shopping with another funeral home from another community? And I kind of weigh it out and say, are we adequate? Do we provide affordable services? Are we professional enough? You know, I mean, you got to look at the man in the mirror first before you start judging other people and start trying to figure out, you know, what's on their mind, what's on their hearts, what make them click and tick the way they tick and click. And so I've thought about things that maybe we can do creatively. I've talked to the other funeral home owners and the same thing with barbershop or anything like that. But I waved it out. I said, hey, what if we, as a community, we went to another community and we bought all our groceries and we bought all our gas and we went there to get our hair done or somewhere else. You know, it would be in the state that me and Mr. Pirtle talked about. Businesses are dying. And so like the people that we serve and the families that we serve, they're dying. Our businesses are dying from not a lot of participation and not a lot of creativeness. So we got to start creating more businesses as our city council comes up with a great effort to help us in the African American community to create more business opportunities. We got to take advantage of those opportunities, or we'll just have money sitting on the shelf that's been sitting there for a long time. And a lot of times I hear people say, well, they won't let us do this, or we can't do that, or it's no money. You know, we don't explore the opportunities that are being created for us to be in business. And so let's stop saying what we can't do. My brother Hub always say, just give me one reason why we can. And so don't tell me a million reasons why we can't. Come up with one reason why we can. And I know it's a lot of creative people. I've seen people do at-home businesses, and I've bought dinners from people that have had barbecues. And so I talked to another guy that was real creative in restructuring shoes. He would paint them and he would do all kinds of things with changing the soles and things that's a business. You know, I see a lot of guys with lawn care and landscaping businesses. You know, those are businesses. It is so many different other, with technology going on, we got so many guys. I mean, some of our young people are so technology savvy without even going to anybody's school. Those are businesses. So we can pour back into each other. We got to reinvest with each other in order for us to be able to support youth programs, our senior programs, and things of that nature so that we can be a successful community. You know, just like our great University of Illinois being successful, you know, our city's striving to be successful, we have to be determined to represent our city well. And so just like that drill sergeant gave me the strong and the stern conversation, the strong and the stern punishment, and gave me the strong realities, what would happen if we just gave up on our flag? You know, and as I look at the guys, you know, that did the first astronauts, and as they went to the moon and they put that flag in the ground, you know, as we put our foot down and we start striving for different things, man, we got to believe everything that we believe in our heart. And then that starts to manifest into an action step to start transpiring and do something. Because a lot of times when I talk to my youth, you know, my youth, they only go by what they see. And if we don't see any successful businesses, we don't see a lot of successful people within our community, then it dampers our think mode of being successful. And so we got to start leading the way. We got to lead the pack. And so as we talk about that, and you know, I didn't want to harp on it long, but I definitely wanted to address it. I definitely want to address of us being successful as a community and creating more business opportunities as we go along. You know, we're in a very diverse community, and diversity is all about. Me and my nephew Jamar always say it's about relationships. So as we try to create some things, you got to get outside the box. I was able to go downtown on last night, and it was a great experience going downtown because I was able to see a lot of people I don't see within our, you know, local, you know, within the North End community, or maybe even some of the Beardsley Park community or Garden Hills neighborhood. But we was able to see a lot of other people and shake a lot of hands and talk to a lot of people. And it was a great experience because sometimes we just got to get out the box. You know, we want a lot of our dreams to come to our front doorstep, and it just don't happen like that. Me and my nephew Jamar always talk about creating new relationships and getting out of our comfort zone and meeting other people, because it's a lot of other people that are pouring into your great ideas. And so as I was able to do that, I thought about another military experience. I thought about a private eye. I had just got to Germany, and we had a big old 4 or 5 man room, and I listened to old school R&B. At that time, I think we listened to a lot of LL Cool J and some things of that nature. Well, it was a white guy in our barracks room, and his name was Private Eye. He was from North Dakota, and boy, we came from different parts of the world, it seemed. But we worked together. We were cooks together, and we worked at the same times. And as we learned more about each other, and he listened to a little hard rock. He didn't listen to a lot of hard rock, but he listened to a little bit. And as he turned up his good stereo that he bought from the PX, and I turned up my good stereo, we clashed a little bit. But we had to learn how to work together. And so as we worked together, not only in business, but in a home setting, we learned to share with each other, give him his space, give him his time to be able to enjoy what he liked and me to enjoy what I liked. And as we sat on each other's bunks and talked about family, you know, things come when you love each other. We developed some love for each other. So as we got ready to depart, and it almost chokes me up now to think about it, as we departed and went our separate ways after a 3-year stint in Germany together, you know, we hugged each other and we loved each other. You know, we haven't spoke. We need to reach each other on Facebook, but I mean, it was a great experience. It taught me diversity. It taught me we can come from totally different backgrounds, but come together for one common cause. And our common cause was to serve our country and be great at it. And we both did that well. But then we had to learn how to work together, how to live together in a closed net environment. See, and a lot of us can't even accomplish that because we stay on different sides of town. And so as we bring ourselves together in some type of settings, we don't share enough love. So when I think about that as far as business, as far as just us in the African-American community, because before we can bring other people into our space and build a relationship, we got to love each other. And when we don't love each other, we don't shop with each other, we don't promote each other, we don't motivate each other, we don't be that encourager that I talked about on last program. We got to be encouragers to assist another person, to elevate them, to make them feel proud about who they are. And that's how we start to build big businesses. Sometimes things come from small beginnings. So never despise things that start small, because it could be a Fortune 500 company in the end, but we need supporters. You need supporters. We could be a great family, but you need great supporters to be a great family, to be a great community, to be a great nation. And so as I talk about that private eye experience, I mean, it was other guys like that helped us. And I love the military. I recommend that, even though we've been into some military scuffles here within recent years, I still encourage our young people to go to the military. You won't be able to blame a lot of people on things you didn't know, because they're going to teach you from A to Z on how to be a proud person and a proud American. And so I thought I'd never get out. And when I got in the military, I thought I'd never get out. And I talked to my brother Hub about that all the time. He's retired from the military. I did a 6-year stay in the military, and I think that was enough for me. But I think it was one of the greatest experiences I could have ever had in my life. And so I thank the Lord for taking that step. You know, sometimes some things in your life you're just gonna have to do on the faith walk. And that was one of the things that I did on faith walk, not knowing what the end was gonna bring, but going in there with an open heart, open mind, and listening and paying attention to detail. And they taught us a lot how to pay attention to detail. A lot of times we can't be successful because we know too much. And we never can listen to anybody else's story. We can never feel anybody else's story. You know, our seniors that tell us wise things, we never listen to our seniors. I mean, they've been through it before. It might have been a little bit different, but it's the same song all the way around. Same thing's been going on. You know, the Bible talks about nothing new's under the sun. It's nothing new. So when our young people that you're watching this, you know, go to some of the older people, because it's nothing new. They did some of the things that you're trying to do, you're trying to accomplish. Ask them their opinion, you know, and then take the meat, spit the bones out. You know, what can work for you to be successful, you know? And so I just want to be an encourager to all our listening audience, our viewing audience out there. You know, we can do it. We just got to reach down and love each other. When we see other people trying to be successful, let's be an encourager. Let's not be one to discourage people. Let's not discourage our community for success. And so, and as we say that, we've had a lot of politicians come throughout our community in this past few weeks. I've seen Governor-elect Rauner. I've seen the current governor. He's came through on yesterday. And so, I mean, and everybody has a story, you know. Everybody has their opinions on what they're going to do. I know we're promoting Carol Ammons and different things. And so as as leaders are trying to create opportunities, you know, for successful communities, you know, let's be honest with it, and let's really pour our hearts and our minds into the work that we do, and so that the dreams and the aspirations of our viewing audience and our young people can come a reality. And so our last program, we talked about Michael Brown in the Ferguson, Missouri area. And so as I did more research, as I was in my office earlier, and I seen the Attorney General was in, and he's coming out with a task force to be able to, oversight committee to be able to see eternally what's been going on down there with the Ferguson Police Department and the racial diversion and division that's been going on down there. And, you know, like I said last program, you know, we've experienced some of those things, and I've talked to people even after this other last program about my take on it, and they really agreed with the way we handled things, the way we came together as a community. So even in harsh times, I've seen us be able to unite as a community, as a whole community, you know, breaking racial divisions and really be able to create an atmosphere where we can solve some issues, or at least be able to come together and dialogue about them. You know, what are our commonalities, and what are the things that divide us? And so as we've had many outdoor events today on this year, even like today, a beautiful day outside, and we've had many outdoor events. You know, the Sweet Corn Festival, oh man, it was just a great event this year. I haven't been in years, but it was great to see everybody from the community come together. More events like that, more events. And so that brings us together where we can meet family, and families can share with each other. And it's all about love to me. It's all about love, because you'll go an extra mile of the way when you love somebody. And so that's, I think, what they're trying to work on and create. It's a long time coming right now for Ferguson, but I think that in the end, sometimes you have to go through turmoil to be able to get a positive result, and sacrifice. And it saddens that young people have to lose their lives even at war. As we deal with the ISIS crisis over in the Middle East, people have lost many lives to get on a radar scale to get outside assistance. And I listen to many talk radio programs during the day. I listen to Jim Turpin, and I listen to Rush Limbaugh, and I listen to so many different other analysts and that come through and say so many different things. And for me, being a military guy, I've always supported my commander-in-chief, no matter who it was, and that's because of the love for country. And if you guys ever go to the military, you'll understand the commitment and what I'm talking about. But just putting the pressure on President Obama to such a level. I mean, to such a level. And I heard actually an older white lady on television, on the radio this morning on Jim's show, and say, man, we can't even come up with a decision on where we want our school at. How can we sit in Obama's shoes and be able to come up with so many different decisions for people? We just a couple years ago said we want our troops out of Iraq. Now we want to send them back to war because of an ISIS situation. He's between a rock and a hard place with a lot of decisions. Whether if it's over, it's not just in the he got an issue in the Ukraine. He has issues all across the world. Not only that, we got domestic issues that's going on in the community and in our country. That is an awesome position as president, but it has to be an enormous task and burden and stress, and so I don't know if I ever dreamed to be in a position of that magnitude. But I'm just some of us, as we look at just trying to make decisions just for our families. Sometimes we have to make tough decisions for our family. And sometimes we have to give our kids just the tough conversations and give them tough love. I've done it for my kids, and my mom did it for us, and I know so many other families that don't condone just bad behavior or just continued dysfunctionality. And sometimes you gotta just let them swim. Let your young people get out there and kind of hit it for themselves, kind of find out what life's all about, and then come back and being able to embrace them and give them a bunch of love and let them know that you love on them, but you want them to get out there and be successful on their own. And so I thank the Lord for you guys and tuning in to this television program on tonight, man. Just another great episode of Let the Truth Be Told. And so as we talk about repping your city and representing the community and just being a great person in the community, I wrote down, just our conduct. We talked about, even with the Ferguson ordeal, just being kind. How kind are we to each other? The conduct, just having great conduct, that goes a long way. That, because people shop from whom they like, and that's one of the business models that I stick with within my soul. But people also, you got to be a friend to be able to make friends. You have to be a good person. So as we work on each other individually, you got to be a good person. And so I spoke with somebody the other day, and I said, man, you can go to 1 million church services. You can listen to each television evangelist that come on each and every night. But if you never put it into an action steps, it makes no difference. And I know so many people that have broke records on attendance at church. But man, when they get out of church, do that same spirit still flourish? And so, when we go to these spaces and we start hearing these great messages, we got to start letting them get in the deep in the inside and plant a seed in us that we're able to represent that throughout our community and love on each other. I was walking the other day inside a store, and I looked somebody in the face, looked just like me, and I always say, "Hey, how you doing?" or "Hey," or nod my head or something. Make an acknowledgement to the next person that you've seen. And it behooves me. People look you dead in your face and won't say anything. And I don't know it's because you're mad, but who you mad at? You know, who are you mad at? Because a lot of times my mom used to say, if you dig a ditch, you got to lay in it. We got to dig ourselves out of these ditches, man, out of these ruts, out of these crutches that we got. You know, we got to dig ourselves out, you know. And a lot of times you hear somebody say, you know, you can take them to water, Sean, but you can't make them drink. Well, that's just tough, true reality. You know, we could come up with a million different creative programs, but if you don't go out there, you don't try to apply for them, meet the criteria for them, you know, even go down there and just investigate. Don't shoot the program down before you even go over there and check out what the program, if it exists, what's the criteria, can you get some assistance, is there a waiver? So many different things. I've talked to some guys with felonies about, and they're probably 10 to 15 years old. And they said, Sean, can I ever become an insurance agent? I said, you know what, bro? Take the class. Take the class. I'll take the class, study for the test, take the state test that they would allow me. And if they wouldn't allow me, it's things called a waiver. And if you got to get a government pardon, shoot for the gusto. Let them shoot you down, but don't shoot yourself down. So I'll go all the way to the end. You know, don't let a felony hold you back. You know, don't let anybody tell you what you can't do. Just continue to strive and try each and every day and put some prayer on it, you know, because all kinds of miracles happen, you know. I just listened to somebody that was very ill, and they didn't give him a long time to live. But man, this guy lived way more time than what doctors even thought. Thought it's more than his family thought. About 4 or 5 years later, you know, he was able to spend time with family. And they cut him off at 6 months. So it's not determined on man, how far you're gonna go. You know, to me, in my heart, it's all determined upon God and you. God and you. Changing your people, places, things, your habits, your eating habits, your diet, you know, exercise and feeling right, you know. And so those are things that just were instilled in me, and I thank God again for military. Because I learned in the military, a healthy body can defend anything. A healthy body can defend anything. So getting up, trying to exercise, trying to get yourself to a condition where you can feel good. And it's all about mind, body, and soul. So making sure your mind's together, you know, keeping a good mental state, not being around haters, you know, keeping away from negative things, staying around positive people, you know. And so many times, you know, we just have discouragers around her. You know, I always say congratulators. We need congratulators around us. Somebody to just love on you, make you feel just good about yourself, you know, feel good about your ideas, you know. And so try to grab more people and gravitate to more people of that magnitude in your life, you know. And granted, it's not going to be that easy, but it's possible. It's possible. And then when you come down with body, just working on that body. I go to the gym in the mornings and before I get started. You don't need a long time. You don't need to spend a lot of time in the gym, just 30, 40 minutes. 30, 40 minutes. I don't go in there to conversate a lot, even though some of the guys in there like to have a great conversation some mornings. But we keep it moving and we got to work out. Got a set plan, a program. I just don't. I was talking to my son about it. He said, Dad, how do you get your schedule together in the morning? I kind of think it out before I even do my schedule. I kind of map my schedule out every morning. I just don't hypothetically just run into a day. You just can't not know what your day is going to look like. So as I started out at the gym, and I might have to go do a haircut, or I might have to, meet a family, or an insurance appointment, I kind of mapped that day out, and I could tell by the end of the day where I'm going to be at. If you kind of just haphazardly run into different things, you might run into the devil in one of those moments. So what I do is I try to plan my day out. Not saying that I won't run into some humps and some bumps in the road, but like I told a young man one time in one of these programs, he hit me on Facebook and said, "Shine, I sure like what you said. It's hard for the devil to hit a moving target. And it's hard for the devil to move a hitting target if you keep moving during the day." So that's that body thing. And the soul thing is, that's one of the most powerful ones. Because being able to reinforce yourself with something higher than yourself. And I will continuously say that on each one of these television programs, believing in something higher than yourself. Somebody that's overseeing you, that's looking after you. Something some guidelines, some structure to what you believe in. And so, and that's that spiritual piece that I think that's needed. And I think a lot of times, especially our country, we ran away from it. And so we're putting all kinds of other stuff in school, and we've taken out everything that's spiritual, everything that's wholesome in school. Everything that's on television, is about something that has nothing to do with promoting you spiritually. Things that we grew up on, principles that we grew up on, even the cartoons. The cartoons ain't even cartoons anymore. You got to watch them cartoons. Make sure you go in there and check on them kids, and just don't have them in front of no television, because the cartoon might look like a cartoon, but it probably might not be a cartoon that we grew up on. So you got to check on them. So as we get ready to wind this program down, I just thank the Lord for everybody that I run into during the week that say, "Shine, I watch your television program. I get a lot out of your program." We try to come up with some structured topics that might be helpful. So as you run into me during the week, and we run into families during the week, stop by, give me some nuggets, give me some tips on different television topics that you might want to see in the future, different things information that you might need out of the community that you just don't know the resources and how to go about looking for them, or business ideas, ways to get in business, what type of programs are there, how to get a business plan together, whether it's some life skills that you might need, anything that you might need, any resources. That's what we're here for. We're here to try to help each other be successful, and that's how we come up with a successful community. And so when you see maybe something going on in the community, whether it's a community coalition meeting, a community walk, or different programs, whether it's a neighborhood meeting or neighborhood group that's meeting, stop in every now and then, because there's always resources, and they're talking about certain resources throughout the Champaign-Urbana community that can maybe help you or your family. And so never neglect that, and like me, when I was younger, I stayed busy. And a lot of times, sometimes being busy doing nothing. And so I neglected to come to some of the meetings. But as I started getting more community involved and being concerned about others other than myself, I started finding out there's great resources throughout this enriched community. And there's a lot of great people out there throughout this community that's willing to give somebody else a helping hand and a second chance. And so as I listened to somebody, Steve Harvey, talk about a second chance and second chances, third chances, and he talked about a cat having 9 lives, and he talked about, maybe he's probably on his 15th life. And so many times, we have to fall down and get back up, and fall down and get back up, and fall down and get back up, but continue to get back up, and continue to work hard each and every day. Each day is a fresh day and a fresh wind to start it over. And so as Mother Hattie say, look back with satisfaction and forward with faith. And just, yesterday was behind you, but today's a new day, and I'm going to be a better person today. I'm going to do something different today. I'm going to do more research. I'm going to work on some of my dreams today, and that's just the reality of things, and that's how life gets better. And you look back and on your life a year from now, or 6 months from now, and you'll see a difference. Spoke with a young man in my barbershop, just a powerful conversation with him and Bishop Wright on yesterday, and young man was very, very touching conversation with him, just asking about spirituality and asking about church. you know, a lot of things he wanted to know, you know, about church. And he watched a movie called Noah, and he was telling me about the movie, and Bishop Wade began more insight. And as he knew some snippets about the Bible, he just didn't know how to research it out and didn't know the dynamics of it and so many different other things. So many times our leaders out there, our ministers, our pastors, sometimes some people were in the elementary stage. So we had to break our conversations back down to them to bring them in, for them to understand. And so many times they just don't know the information, and so they don't gravitate to it. So we got to get out there and we got to beat these streets up and be able to bring that conversation and that love and that inspiration to them on the streets. You know, I looked at Apostle Smith, Pastor DeVito, and them. Great program, Stop the Violence March that you did out at Beardsley Park. Great event. I mean, just a great loving event. Loved on people all that the whole day. Man, that was a beautiful turnout. Most of the people that were at that park that day, they were never, you would have never probably seen them at a church service. You guys you did a great job taking it to the streets and loving on people and being able to give away Bibles and 1,000 back to school bags and just love on people that day. And that's community. I mean, that's community in the rarest form. And so I think that was great. You know, a lot of times, most of those people, you won't be able to get them into a setting unless it's a funeral service that we're providing or one of the other local funeral homes are providing. And being able to strategically set those services up to be able to address some of those young people or some of the older people with different issues that's going on throughout our community. I think that's great too, and also be able to memorialize and the legacy of loved ones, passed on loved ones, but also being able to address the conversation to the living, because the deceased have lived their lives, and when we're doing those services, you know, it's to memorialize people, but it's definitely for the living to be impacted, to make them better, and so as we do that, and I do not take that business at all for granted. I love that business. I love having families, just like the insurance business that we do. Just a great business to be into, to sit down with families and be able to talk to families about their futures and about their life and the legacy of their lives. And so it's a great opportunity to sit in front of families, you know. And it's ironic how God will take you from one place to another, because in the barbershop, beauty shop settings, barbershops and beauty shops around the country are known for listening to gossip and listening to other people's lives and being able to listen to the things that go on with their day-to-day operations and things of that nature. And so as I became a good listener, and not knowing I would be in the funeral home business or the insurance business, you know, just learning snippets of things along the way. And so now as I sit down, I listen to families and able to be a great patient listener, to be able to capture every moment of things that they say to me about their loved ones. And I had one lady that said, "I thought you forgot about that," but I didn't. I wrote everything down she told me about her loved one, and everything about from beginning to end. I captured that, you know, and those are the things that people remember the most, man. Is just being able to remember their loved one and do it in such a unique and a great style. And so I thank the Lord for allowing me to have an opportunity in my life to be able to memorialize and legalize other people and give back to that in a great aspect of that. So I just really thank the Lord for this program. As we get ready to closing, I know we're down to the last few minutes of this program, but if you're you know, and I always want to send out this invitation to join the Somebody Church. Go to somebody's church. We have some great pastors out here that's giving out great messages. My pastor, Pastor Lakevi C. Johnson, at Jericho Missionary Baptist Church, and like I said many times before, Pastor, I tip my hat to you for coming to this community, jumping right in the saddle with us with every hot issue that we have going on. You're working for the school district and being able to work with families and at the great level that you're working on them with, and so and there's other pastors that's out there that's also doing some similar work. Pastor Ricky E. Parks, I mean, great man of God that's doing some great things. and so many other guys. I don't want to call out everybody's name, but continue to do the great work that you do. I mean, because everybody's needed in whatever area you're in. Let's just put it all together. Once we put it all together, we just collectively develop better people and a better community. And one day I was telling them at a city council meeting is that we can build all the great buildings in the world, but if we don't have great people to enter them, it makes no difference. So I thank the Lord for this radio program. Thank the Lord for UPTV. And I thank the Lord for letting us be able to video another episode, Let Truth Be Told. Thank you.